guys, as always, welcome to Chili's 5 things that have been exposed about elitists this year. Yep, buckle up, this is going to be fun. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 things that I see have been exposed by elitists this year. It's important for all of us to watch. Those of us that watch and try to protect the Republic, we got to pay attention. What have I missed? I'm going to get to the end of this and share my favorite at the end. What's your favorite? Or if you have something that I missed, something different, would love to hear that as well. Also in my lap is a brand new Rudy Tooty Point and Shooty. That is mostly your all's fault. It was y'all's idea and I went and bought one. Buckle up. Here we go. Hey, today's episode is sponsored by TACPACK. To kick off 2021, they have a monster box for January. Now, what's in it is still a top secret, but I've heard it's going to be awesome. TACPACK is a monthly subscription service that brings AR parts, EDC gear, and survival gear right to your door. Now, here's the deal. To get in on the January box, you have to order while it's still December. And to get in on the January box, also, if you'll use code JohnnyB, you're going to get a grab bag with your order. They're going to come and they're going to ship separately, but you'll get a grab bag and that monster box coming in January. That's pretty cool. I don't know exactly what's in it. I've heard a couple rumors, but I've heard it's really cool. I've done TACPACK now for 47, maybe 48 months straight, almost 4 straight years, and they've always been really cool. So big thank you to TACPACK for sponsoring this fun fest we're going to go through right now. Is this cool? I really like this one. I got to help design it. I thought it was fun. Y'all let me know if y'all think it's fun as well. It just came out. I just got it, but I was excited about it. Here we go. 5 things that have been exposed about elitists in 2020. Now, I want to bifurcate, delineate, separate the difference between me saying the word elitists, because a lot of times on this channel, we end up going in 2 different directions, 2 other directions, Republicans and Democrats. I'm separating out, and I'm probably going to maybe move this direction in 2021 because it's not always just the left. It's elitists and folks that think they're in charge of we plebeians. So I want to say very clearly this is not just about left versus right. I'll talk a little bit about that, but that is part of, I think, what's been exposed. Here's 5 things. Save my favorite until the end. Number 5, elites are okay with chaos and violence from the left. If there's one thing that we learned during all those months of riots and cities being burned down, very specific cities being burned down, is that the media and elitists, they're 100% okay if the chaos and the violence comes from the left. As long as you have the right next to your name, good to go, do what you want, and you can operate with impunity. In fact, we did see in some cities that these folks were being fed and sheltered and handed the tools and the cash to be able to riot and pillage and do whatever they want. And the elites were 100% okay with that. They operate again with the word impunity. Why? Because they were elitists and they're okay with all of that chaos as long as it's coming from the left. Tear down America 1 brick at a time. That's number 5. Number 4, Silicon Valley wants you to shut up. Now, this is important because we have been silenced in a lot of ways, and not just here on this platform, in a lot of platforms. I'm going to talk about science here in a minute, but the Silicon Valley have silenced so many people, especially over 2 areas. One was the and then also about the election, and they contained and controlled the message, and in many ways it harkens back to the old movie Wag the Dog. Yeah, the tail was wagging the dog all year this year. And elitists were not just okay with that. They want you to shut up and not have a voice. We've learned recently that they will spend tens of millions to give a voice to nonsense fringe groups in other countries, and we have to pay for that. Yeah, y'all saw that in the recent money going overseas. But for an American citizen to have a voice, nope, they want you to shut up. Let me pause before I get to number 3, is that all of this is inspired and comes directly from John Davison. He writes for The Federalist. He wrote a killer article, and so a big shout out to John Davison. That was number 4. Number 3, counting. How does it work? Welcome to Appalachia. I'm not refilming. We're doing this in one take. Number 3, elites don't care if small businesses die. They don't care. One thing that we have seen this year, and it was exposed plainly, is that they don't care if small businesses die, and they do care if the big ones continue to flourish. Yeah, has Walmart ever shut their doors? No, not at all. But mom and pop stores nationwide are going under. It is a nightmare out there. I'm using the word nightmare. It is a fiscal nightmare for the mom and pop stores, yet Amazon is flourishing. Do the elites care? Nope. Operate again with what word, boys and girls? Impunity. And the elites don't care. The elites continue to become more elite. Remember when I was a kid, they'd say the rich get richer, and people have talked about that in rap videos for decades. In some ways, in 2020, we have learned that one is true. Number 3, the elites don't care if small businesses, mom and pop stores, any small business curls up and dies. Number 2, lockdowns for thee, but not for me. This one was rampant. This is not confined. I know there's a few really clear examples with certain people going to Hawaii for Thanksgiving, certain people going to Mexico, certain people going on cruises. But it was rampant and it was nationwide, and it was not limited to just one party, although it was primarily the Dems. Of course it was primarily the Dems. But overall, the elitists, those in control and power, they put rules onto y'all, but not for themselves. Y'all saw so many people at press releases slamming on their mask, jumping out in front of the camera, taking it off and talking to the camera, putting it back on, then walking backstage and ripping it off. They're doing it only for the camera. And that's a bunch of nonsense. Do we need to pay attention to this stuff? I say absolutely. Before we get to number 1, I want to say this. I think we do need to watch this stuff. I do think that this year exposed a lot, and I think this next point I think is important, is that we don't often know what elites do because they mask everything they do. They're never honest about what they do. This year exposed their nonsense. And I do believe this. I'm not being dramatic. I believe this year exposed so much. If you watch, you can't watch the mainstream media because they will lie to your face. All of them. We even saw, you know who, cave and turn blue about 8 weeks ago. Yep, they're done. So all of the media, just a bunch of paid off, we'll save the language, but not good. Here's my number 1. What was your number 1? The ways that elitists were exposed in 2020. Number 1, Dems don't care about science or religious liberty. Now, I moved just then from talking about elites to Dems. The Dems very clearly this year show that they don't care about science and they don't care about religious freedoms. In fact, 2 of the governors, Cuomo and Newsom, both shut down churches and left liquor stores open. They don't care about religious liberty. In fact, the Marxists want religious freedoms to be squashed, especially if you are Christian. And that's a fight for another day or conversation for another day. But they also don't care about science. They will shut everything down because of control in a lot of other areas. Good news that some people are fighting back. The LA judge just last week shot down that order. It was an order for it was an outdoor dining ban, and shot it down. 30,000 restaurants in LA were shut down, an outdoor dining ban. And the judge said that the folks that did that, the politicians that did that, provided no scientific proof. Why? They just shut it down willy-nilly. Shutdowns are talk for another day and another conversation, but the politicians, the elitists, the folks with the money, the folks with the money bags, and the folks that are bought off and paid by Soros and all of those other morons that are out there. Yeah, this has been a nasty, nasty year. Again, a big shout out to John Davison of the Federalist. What was your favorite? Let me know. Now, when I was in Oregon in October, my auto-loading AR-10 did not perform the way I wanted to do, and I needed to move to a bolt gun. I asked y'all what I should get. 80-something% of y'all said to get a Bergara, so I went and paid retail. I bought a Bergara, still has the tag on it. Haven't shot it yet. It's in Creedmoor, 6.5 millimeters, so I'm excited about that. Haven't shot it yet, haven't put glass on it yet, but this is now in the safe because of you people. So I'm excited about that. Thank y'all for the recommendation, and I'm just really, really looking forward to getting this one to the range as soon as it warms up. To any elitists that are out there and that are against my option to be able to miss small targets at a long distance at the cost of $1 to $3 per round, to anyone that's against us or wants to be elite over our lives, yep, surrounded by a pile of Gomer pile of hot brass. I just messed up my clothes in there, regardless of my fumbling words. Yep, from my cold, dead hands. Bye, y'all.